There comes a moment in every life when a person must look in the mirror and recognize a truth larger than circumstance, larger than history, and larger than fear. That truth is this: you were chosen. Chosen to break the limits that held your family back. Chosen to rewrite the financial destiny of your bloodline. Chosen to rise where others settled. You may not have been born into luxury. You may not have inherited a foundation of wealth. But you did inherit something far more powerful, the desire to rise. That desire is no accident. It is the whisper of destiny. It is the evidence that something within you knows you are built for more. Understand this: every millionaire is first a millionaire in thought. Wealth begins as a vision that refuses to be dismissed. It forms in the imagination of the brave, those who see possibilities where others see barriers. When you begin to hold the image of your future so vividly that it becomes more real than your present, the world itself shifts to match your belief. You were not chosen because the path would be easy. You were chosen because you have the strength to endure what others cannot. You have the resilience to rise after disappointment, the persistence to work when no one is watching, the courage to invest in yourself when others hesitate. These qualities are not common, they are rare, and that rarity is your advantage. Let me remind you, you are not just earning money, you are breaking patterns. You are dissolving generational fear. You are opening doors that your family never had the chance to approach. Your success will not be yours alone. It will become a blessing that flows through your children, your community, and every person who witnesses your transformation. But to fulfill this calling, you must possess a burning desire, one that refuses to be extinguished. You must let go of excuses, remove limitations from your mind, and step boldly toward the life that has been waiting for you. You cannot tiptoe into greatness. You must claim it. You were chosen because you have a vision others don't. You were chosen because you have the hunger others won't cultivate. You were chosen because you have the discipline others avoid. You were chosen because your future demands it. Today, I challenge you to make a decision. Not a wish, not a hope, but a decision that you will become the first millionaire in your family. Decide that your actions, your habits, your mindset, and your persistence will align with the future you envision. When that decision becomes unshakable, the world must bend to accommodate it. A definite purpose is more than a goal, more than a wish, and far more than a vague desire. It is the internal fire that clarifies your direction, sharpens your decisions, and moves you from drifting through life to commanding it. A person who operates with a definite purpose walks differently, thinks differently, and attracts opportunities that a wandering mind can never recognize. To carry a definite purpose is to carry the blueprint of your future, etched so clearly in your imagination that it becomes impossible to ignore and even more impossible to abandon. When you decide on a definite purpose, truly decide, it reorganizes your entire being. You stop moving according to emotion and start moving according to intention. You stop chasing distractions and begin pursuing only what moves you closer to your vision. This single shift transforms the ordinary into the unstoppable. A mind without purpose is like a ship without a captain, tossed by waves and winds, never reaching a harbor. But a mind fueled by purpose becomes a force of nature, bending circumstances, resources, and even people toward the outcome it has claimed. A definite purpose is powerful because it simplifies life. When you know exactly what you are working toward, you no longer waste mental energy wondering what direction to take. Every choice becomes easier. Every day gains meaning. The doubts that once slowed you down begin to lose their influence because you have something stronger anchoring you, a mission. And when you have a mission, the distractions that once seemed so appealing suddenly feel small and irrelevant. You no longer search for motivation outside yourself because the purpose within you becomes your permanent supply. This level of clarity is not born from chance. It must be created through reflection, honesty, and courage. You must be willing to ask yourself what you truly want, not what society has conditioned you to accept. A definite purpose cannot come from pressure, fear, or imitation. It must rise from the deepest desires of your own spirit. It must be yours. Only then does it gain the emotional power required to pull you through difficulties and setbacks. When you establish a definite purpose, something remarkable happens. Your subconscious mind begins working in harmony with your conscious desires. Ideas appear more quickly. Solutions come more naturally. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before. This is not magic. It is the result of mental alignment. When your mind knows where you are going, it stops wasting energy on paths that lead nowhere. It becomes a magnet for the conditions that support your purpose. And once this alignment occurs, progress is inevitable. Your definite purpose also gives strength to your persistence. The reason most people quit is simple. They don't know what they're truly striving for. Without a clear purpose, obstacles feel heavier, failures feel fatal, and temporary difficulties feel permanent. But with a definite purpose, your setbacks become stepping stones. Your disappointments become lessons. Your challenges become proof that you are moving in the right direction. Purpose provides endurance. It creates the inner stamina that outlasts discouragement. Another profound benefit of a definite purpose is the way it influences people around you. Humans are naturally drawn to those who know what they want. They respect those who live with intention and confidence. When you communicate your purpose through your actions, through your focus, and through your unwavering determination, others feel compelled to help you, support you, and open doors for you. A definite purpose creates influence, and influence accelerates achievement. To operate with a definite purpose, you must turn it into a living force. You must think it, speak it, and act upon it daily. Repetition engraves it into your mind until it becomes your identity. And when your purpose becomes part of who you are, you no longer have to try to stay committed. You simply behave in alignment with your nature. You become the type of person who succeeds because success is the only path your purpose allows. A definite purpose must be specific enough to inspire action, but vast enough to stretch your potential. It must be something that demands growth. It must challenge you to rise above your comfort zone and transform into the person capable of achieving it. If your purpose does not require growth, it is not large enough. A true purpose awakens ambition and summons a higher version of your character. Ultimately, a definite purpose is the foundation of personal greatness. It is the starting point of every achievement, every fortune, and every breakthrough in human history. Without it, even the most gifted individual drifts. With it, an ordinary person becomes extraordinary. A definite purpose is the difference between surviving life and shaping it, between following a path and creating one, between hoping for success and commanding it. Faith in your own power is the invisible force that turns ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. It is the quiet yet unbreakable conviction that you carry within you every resource required to rise, to conquer, and to create a life of abundance. Without faith in yourself, even the most brilliant plan collapses. But with it, even the most difficult path becomes possible. Faith is the inner voice that tells you to keep going long before the world sees any evidence of your success. It is the belief that your mind, your effort, your vision, and your persistence can manifest a reality greater than anything you have known before. When you possess faith in your own power, you stop waiting for external approval. You no longer require others to validate your dreams or confirm your worthiness. You understand that the seed of greatness already lives within you, and it is not dependent on upbringing, environment, or background. Many people remain stuck, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack belief. They doubt themselves so deeply that they bury their own potential before it ever has a chance to breathe. Self-faith is the antidote to this self-sabotage. It lifts you out of fear and places you firmly on the foundation of possibility. Faith does not mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to be confined by it. You may not currently have the wealth you desire, the skills you need, or the resources you crave. But faith allows you to move as if the results are already on their way. This mental posture invites creativity, discipline, and courage. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones and failures into lessons. Faith whispers that you are capable, even when past experiences tell you otherwise. Faith reminds you that your future is not dictated by your past. It is shaped by what you believe about yourself right now. To cultivate faith in your own power, you must begin by recognizing the silent war that takes place in the mind. Every person carries doubts, fears, and memories of past disappointments. These internal shadows attempt to convince you that you are unqualified, unworthy, or incapable. But faith challenges these voices. Faith does not eliminate fear, it overrules it. It says, I may be afraid, but I will move anyway. I may not know everything, but I am willing to learn. I may not be perfect, but I am powerful. When you speak to yourself with this kind of authority, your mind begins to shift. You create mental momentum that drives you toward action. Action is the companion of faith. You cannot simply believe in your power, you must demonstrate it. Every action you take reinforces your belief in yourself. Each small step becomes proof that you are capable, and as the evidence grows, so does your confidence. People often wait to feel confident before taking action, not realizing that confidence is built because of action. Faith is the bridge that allows you to act before you feel ready, knowing that the version of you who begins the journey is not the same version who will finish it. Faith is the willingness to evolve through effort. Another critical aspect of self-faith is the ability to silence external noise. The world will always have opinions about what you can or cannot do. Some people will underestimate you because of their own limitations. Others will doubt you because your dream is beyond their ability to understand. Their disbelief is not your problem. You must learn to separate the voices that build you from the voices that break you. Faith in your own power means trusting your inner wisdom above the doubts of others. It means understanding that your path was designed for you, and therefore no outside judgment can truly define it. Faith also requires patience. Success is rarely instant, and the process of growth often demands more time, more effort, and more resilience than you expect. Without faith, delays feel like denials. But with faith, you recognize that every part of your journey is preparing you for what you are becoming. Patience becomes easier when you trust your power. You no longer feel rushed or panicked. Instead, you move forward with calm determination, knowing that everything you are working for is already aligning with your belief. One of the most powerful effects of faith in your own power is the way it transforms your energy. You become magnetic. You attract ideas, opportunities, people, and resources that match the strength of your belief. Others feel compelled to support you because your conviction is undeniable. Your presence carries certainty, and certainty is attractive. Those who believe in themselves naturally inspire others, not through arrogance, but through the quiet assurance that success is inevitable. Faith in your own power is not a luxury, it is a requirement. Without it, you remain trapped in the limits of fear. With it, you break through barriers that once seemed impossible. Faith is the voice that tells you, you are not done yet. You have more inside you. You are built for greatness. It is the foundation upon which your dreams stand. It is the engine that drives your persistence. It is the shield that protects your vision, and it is the force that transforms aspiration into achievement. Mastery over fear is one of the greatest accomplishments a person can achieve because fear is the silent barrier that restricts more dreams than failure ever could. Fear disguises itself as caution, hesitation, or doubt, yet its true purpose is to keep you small. It whispers that you are unprepared, unworthy, or incapable, even when the truth is the opposite. Every individual who has reached great heights has had to confront this invisible enemy. Fear is universal, but mastery over fear is a choice, one that separates those who merely wish from those who boldly pursue the life they are destined for. To master fear, you must first understand what it is. Fear is not a sign of weakness. It is a natural response designed to protect you. But the mind does not distinguish between genuine danger and imagined threat. It reacts the same way to a wild animal as it does to a new opportunity, a bold dream, or an unfamiliar path. This means that much of what you fear is not life-threatening. It is simply uncomfortable. And growth requires discomfort. If you never step into what scares you, you never step into your potential. Mastery over fear does not mean eliminating fear completely. That is impossible. It means refusing to let fear dictate your decisions. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. The most successful people feel fear just as intensely as anyone else, but they have trained themselves to move through it, to walk toward the very things that make their hearts race and their hands tremble. They understand that beyond fear lies possibility, and beyond possibility lies transformation. Fear feeds on imagination. It takes your insecurities and magnifies them until they feel like unavoidable truths. It exaggerates the worst-case scenarios and blinds you to the opportunities that stand right in front of you. To master fear, you must reclaim your imagination. Instead of allowing your mind to create visions of failure, you must direct it to create visions of success, growth, and expansion. Thought is powerful, and fear loses its grip when your thoughts are no longer aligned with defeat. Another key to mastering fear is shifting your relationship with failure. Much fear comes from the belief that failing is something shameful or final. Yet failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Every misstep reveals something about your strategy, your strength, and your persistence. When you view failure as part of the journey rather than the end of it, fear loses much of its influence. You become willing to experiment, to take risks, and to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. The more you face failure without crumbling, the more your courage grows. One of the most powerful strategies for overcoming fear is action. Fear thrives in inaction. The longer you wait, the louder fear becomes. But the moment you take even the smallest step toward your goal, fear weakens. Action builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence dissolves fear. You cannot think your way out of fear. You must move your way out of it. Every step you take is a declaration to your mind that you are stronger than the limitations you once believed. Awareness is also essential. You must identify the specific fears that hold you back. Are you afraid of judgment? Afraid of making a mistake? Afraid of success and the responsibilities it brings? Afraid of stepping into a new identity? When you bring your fears into the light, they lose much of their control. Most fears shrink the moment you confront them with honesty. They are psychological illusions, gaining power only when you avoid them. But when you name them, question them, and challenge them, you begin to dismantle their influence. Environment plays a significant role in mastering fear. The people you surround yourself with either amplify your courage or reinforce your hesitations. If you spend time with those who fear change, who avoid challenges, or who belittle ambition, their mindset becomes contagious. But when you surround yourself with bold thinkers, risk-takers, and achievers, courage becomes your new normal. Their confidence strengthens yours. Their victories remind you of what is possible. Their perspective lifts you beyond your fear's reach. Another powerful element of mastering fear is understanding your purpose. When your mission becomes more important than your discomfort, courage rises naturally. Purpose gives you strength you didn't know you had. It pushes you past hesitation and compels you to act even when fear tries to pull you back. When the reason behind your goal is strong enough, fear becomes a minor obstacle rather than an immovable wall. Purpose gives you something bigger to fight for, something worth facing fear for. Mastery over fear is not achieved in a single moment. It is built through repeated encounters. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you strengthen a part of yourself. You build a reservoir of resilience that becomes deeper and more powerful with every challenge. Over time, you begin to trust yourself. You recognize that you have survived every fear you have faced and emerged stronger each time. That trust becomes the foundation of your confidence. Persistent, intelligent action is the engine that transforms dreams into achievements and potential into tangible results. Many people believe that desire alone is enough to bring success, but desire without action is only wishful thinking, and action without intelligence becomes wasted effort. True progress is born from the combination of persistence, the refusal to quit, and intelligent action, the commitment to learn, adapt, and apply better strategies each time you move forward. When these two elements unite, they create a force so powerful that obstacles cannot withstand it. Persistence is the trait that keeps you moving long after the excitement fades. Anyone can work when they are motivated, inspired, or energized. But only those who continue working through boredom, frustration, setbacks, and uncertainty rise to the top of life's opportunities. Success has a rhythm, and persistence keeps you moving to its beat. You cannot predict how many attempts it will take, nor can you expect results to arrive on your timeline. But persistence ensures that no matter how long the journey, you remain in the fight until you reach the finish line. However, persistence alone is not the full picture. If you persist in the wrong direction, you may move with determination but still arrive nowhere. This is where intelligent action becomes essential. Intelligent action means observing your results, studying your failures, learning from your missteps, and adjusting your strategy based on what you discover. It requires humility to recognize when an approach is not working and courage to try something different. Intelligent action turns mistakes into information, information into improvement, and improvement into success. The combination of persistence and intelligence creates a cycle of continuous progress. You take action, you measure your results, you refine your method, and you take action again. Each cycle builds momentum. Each adjustment brings clarity. Each step makes you more capable. Most people quit before reaching this stage because the early attempts often bring disappointment. But those who persist intelligently break through challenges that seem immovable to everyone else. Persistent, intelligent action also requires discipline, the ability to do what must be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline ensures that action becomes a habit rather than an occasional burst of effort. When action becomes routine, success becomes predictable. You begin to trust yourself more deeply because you see that you can rely on your own work ethic. Each day you show up strengthens your identity as someone who follows through, someone who builds, someone who creates results rather than waiting for them. To act intelligently, you must also be willing to observe others who have walked the path before you. Mentors, books, examples, and experiences from successful individuals provide shortcuts that save you years of trial and error. Intelligent action means learning from these sources rather than insisting on figuring everything out alone. While persistence keeps you moving, learning keeps you from repeating unnecessary mistakes. The combination shortens the distance between where you are and where you want to be. An essential part of intelligent action is self-evaluation. You must ask yourself hard questions. What worked today? What did not? What slowed you down? What needs adjustment? Where can you improve? These questions guide your growth. They keep you from acting blindly. They transform daily effort into targeted effort. And targeted effort always outperforms random effort. When you evaluate your actions honestly and consistently, you build a map of your progress, one that leads you to your goal with increasing clarity. Intelligent action also involves embracing efficiency. Instead of working harder only to burn out, you learn to work smarter so that each hour of effort produces greater results. This may involve new tools, new systems, or new habits. It may require organizing your day more effectively, eliminating distractions, or focusing on high-impact activities rather than busy work disguised as productivity. Many people spend energy but produce little because they are unfocused. Intelligent action corrects this by aligning effort with outcomes. Persistence, on the other hand, builds emotional stamina. It strengthens your spirit so that discouragement cannot derail you. Every challenge you face and overcome becomes proof that you are capable. Over time, your confidence grows not because things become easier, but because you become stronger. Persistence teaches you that setbacks are temporary and that the only true failure is giving up. It toughens your mindset, expands your resilience, and anchors your commitment so deeply that doubts lose their hold. Together, persistence and intelligent action create a mindset of certainty. You no longer hope to succeed. You expect to succeed. You no longer fear difficulties. You anticipate them and prepare for them. You no longer wonder if you will reach your goal. You simply focus on the next step, knowing that success is inevitable for the person who refuses to stop and refuses to repeat the same mistakes. This mindset changes how you walk, how you think, and how you approach each day. Environment and influence shape a person more powerfully than most realize. Your surroundings, people, habits, conversations, and daily atmosphere create the mental climate in which your thoughts live. And your thoughts determine your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. Even the strongest individual is not immune to the effects of their environment. Whether you rise or fall is influenced heavily by the mental soil in which you plant your dreams. If the environment nurtures growth, your potential expands. If it suffocates ambition, your progress weakens. Understanding the power of environment is essential for anyone determined to build a future greater than their past. Every person carries an internal blueprint shaped in large part by the influences around them. Consider how many beliefs you adopted simply because you heard them repeatedly growing up. Some beliefs empower you, others limit you. Many people unknowingly inherit fear-based thinking, scarcity mindsets, or negative attitudes from their environment. These influences settle into the subconscious mind, directing behavior without conscious awareness. You cannot build prosperity on a foundation created by people who fear risk, avoid improvement, or discourage ambition. This is why breaking free from limiting environments is often the first step toward success. The people you surround yourself with act as mirrors. They reflect your standards, your expectations, and your possibilities back to you. When you spend time with individuals who complain, doubt, procrastinate, or settle for less, you gradually begin to absorb their habits. Even if you resist consciously, their energy seeps into your decisions. You become influenced by the rhythm of their thinking. On the other hand, when you associate with people who think boldly, work diligently, and believe in growth, you begin to elevate naturally. Their mindset challenges you, inspires you, and pulls you upward. The right environment does not just support your ambition. It demands it. Influence shapes identity. Your identity shapes behavior, and behavior shapes destiny. This chain reaction shows why your environment is more than physical location. It is mental atmosphere. It is the content you consume, the conversations you allow, the standards you tolerate, and the expectations you absorb. If your environment constantly exposes you to negativity, fear, doubt, or small thinking, it becomes nearly impossible to maintain the belief required for big achievements. But when your environment supports optimism, confidence, learning, and ambition, your internal belief system becomes stronger and more resilient. To build a powerful environment, you must become intentional. You must choose what enters your mind with the same caution you would use when choosing what enters your home. Many people treat their environment casually, allowing negative influences to drift into their lives without question. They spend hours consuming content that drains ambition, engage in conversations that weaken confidence, or maintain relationships that sabotage progress. But you cannot create a millionaire mindset in an environment designed for mediocrity. You must curate your surroundings with purpose. One essential step is eliminating or distancing yourself from influences that constantly pull you backward. This does not require conflict or hostility. It requires clarity. You must recognize when a person's presence consistently lowers your energy or limits your growth. Reducing exposure to negative individuals frees mental space for opportunities and ideas that align with your goals. You are not abandoning these people. You are choosing not to abandon your future. Another step in shaping your environment is replacing old influences with new ones that elevate you. This includes mentors who inspire you, books that challenge your thinking, content that feeds your ambition, and communities that support success. Even if you do not have access to successful people physically, you can access them mentally through their work, stories, and teachings. Modern tools allow you to immerse yourself in powerful influences no matter where you are. When you consistently engage with high-level thinking, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as your new standard. Your environment should also support productive habits. Physical space matters. A cluttered, chaotic environment drains mental clarity. A clean, organized space inspires focus and discipline. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals, symbols of progress, and tools that support your growth. Let your environment reflect where you are going, not where you came from. Influence also includes your emotional environment. If you allow stress, anxiety, or self-doubt to dominate your internal atmosphere, even the best external environment cannot compensate. You must cultivate inner calm, self-belief, and mental resilience. Practice self-encouragement. Replace negative self-talk with empowering language. Build a daily routine that strengthens your mindset. Affirmations, visualization, reading, or reflection. The stronger your internal environment, the less external negativity can affect you. The true purpose of mastering your environment is to ensure that everything around you aligns with the future you are building. You cannot rise while living in a space that constantly pulls you down. You cannot grow while surrounding yourself with influences that encourage stagnation. You cannot become exceptional while living among people who accept excuses as normal. You must create an environment that feeds your ambition, supports your discipline, and strengthens your belief in yourself. Environment and influence are silent forces. You rarely notice their impact day by day, but they shape you continuously. Over weeks, months, and years, they determine whether you evolve or remain the same. The right environment does not merely help you succeed, it makes success feel natural. It removes friction, reduces doubt, and increases clarity. It surrounds you with reminders that your goals are possible and that you are capable of achieving them.